So have these changes really made a difference to the lives of estate workers? And why are the estate households still amongst the poorest in the country? The overall perception of the workers today is that poverty in the estates has worsened. The poverty that workers speak of relate not only to how much they earn and how much they can spend, but also to health, education and personal attributes such as dignity and protection. Yet some households have managed to escape poverty. Non-estate employment in all its forms seems to play a critical role for these individual households. Those that combined estate with non-estate work, internal with external migration, and skilled with non-skilled labour fared the best. By doing non-estate work during the low season, as well as having some household members having full-time jobs outside of the estate, many households were able to move out of poverty. The way these estate households move out of poverty is not so different from other communities in the country. They all use a diversified livelihood portfolio.
இருபத்தஞ்சு முப்பது மாதவி 3140 இருபத்தஞ்சு 32 ஜெயசுதாசன் 730 இருபத்தஞ்சு 33 விஜயலட்சுமி 4280 இருபத்தஞ்சு 34 மல்லிகாவதி 3470.
A mix of different employment opportunities is clearly important for mobility. Does this mean that there is a lack of work or that workers cannot earn enough from estate work alone? The opposite is frequently the case. The estates have a large earning potential, but the problem is that it is not being fully accessed. Earning capacity of an estate worker in a well-managed estate can be considerably higher than the poverty line. This has been confirmed by both workers and management. But many rubber and tea plantations actually record shortages of labour. So it seems that workers tend to shun estate work, even if it is available. So there exists a conundrum. Even though poverty is increasing on the estates, workers choose not to access this earning potential that could bring them out of poverty. So why do households fail to tap into this potential? CEPA found that families living on estates have developed attitudes and ways of thinking that affect the way they make decisions about how they should go about earning an income. They develop these attitudes and ways of thinking largely because of the way estates are organized. Feelings of marginalization, feelings of exploitation, a lack of dignity and a lack of choice pervade the outlook of the workforce. In turn, these feelings direct the economic decisions that they make. So even when estate work is available, it is consciously not taken up. The attitudes and ways of thinking have given rise to tensions between the management's economic priorities and the workers' rights as residents. The tensions are best illustrated when looking at the housing issue. The residents take the position that it is their home, and hence they have the right to decide how they live and where they work. This, even though they continue to expect the companies to maintain their housing and its immediate environment. For the management, the housing is considered workers' quarters. Their position is that it is reasonable to demand that at least one household member works on the estate. They would rightly argue that the plantation sector is a commercial enterprise and not a community welfare organization. Both positions are equally legitimate, but of course, contradictory. These perceptions are strengthened by a sense of political and social marginalization. Even though the estate population got the right to vote in the mid-1980s, many still feel strongly that they are excluded from the benefits that have reached the rest of the country. These perceptions affect poverty on the estates in two major ways. In the first instance, they are in themselves a dimension of poverty. Even households that have incomes much higher than the poverty line feel strongly that they are poor. They feel that they are members of a sector that is being given a raw deal in comparison to the rest of the country. Secondly, decisions that impact on their income sources are strongly influenced by this sense of marginalization and exploitation. Unless these tensions and the perception that estate work is degrading and lacks dignity are addressed, workers will continue to shun the full earning potential. This will, of course, impact upon the industry as a whole. What is certain is that change is happening on the estates. These changes need to be accepted and managed to the advantage of the plantation community and of the industry. Resist them and you risk aggravating the existing tensions.